What is good, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today, like the title and thumbnail suggests, we're going to be doing part 5 on what if Deku was Toge. Thank you all for as many likes and comments that I've really been getting on this series. I'm really glad that you guys have been enjoying it. And as you guys can see, we're going to have a guest today, Saruto the DrugKage. His part's going to be later on. But yeah, I just want to thank him again for being willing to help a brother out with the video. So yeah, hopefully you guys like his part. But after further ado, cue the intro.
Hey yo, y'all can't stand right here. In his right hand was your man's worst nightmare. Loud enough to burst his right eardrum close range. The game is not only dangerous, but it's most strange. I sell rhymes like dimes. The one who mostly keep cash but brag about the broker time. Joker rhymes like the is you just happy to see me trick. Classical slapstick rappers need chapstick. A lot of them sound like they in a talent show, so I give them something to remember like the Alamo. Tally ho, a hot joker like Space Game. Came back from 5 years lane and stayed the same. Electromagnetic field, it blocks all logic. Spock and G-Shock's a biological clock. When I hit it, slid it to the shitter, thought I killed a goose. Her power use was pure brittle water filter juice. Keep a pen like a fiend, keep a pipe with him.
Alright, so where we left off last part was with Deku throwing the ball and Aizawa telling and asking, does anyone want to go next? As more and more students get excited about using their quirks to be able to throw the ball for the first time, since it wasn't allowed in their middle school or elementary schools. But something crossed their mind when Aizawa says, whoever gets last will be expelled. With them all saying, no way. No way he's being serious about expelling people. I thought it was just a joke before. You know, get us in order. It wasn't a joke, says Aizawa with a yawn. Oh no, go on. Whoever's next will be next. As we see Bakugo go, and he gets 400 meters. As the whole class claps, as we see Todoroki going, and then Momo, and then finally Uraraka, who uses her float quirk, or gravity quirk, to get infinity. With the whole class, except for Bakugo and Deku, and Todoroki's mouth dropping. Wow, she got infinity, says Mineta. Wow, she's really hot too, says Kaminari. Yeah, says Mineta, as they bump fists as the nose drips from their mouth, as Uraraka turns around nervous, giving a slight blush as he just leaves. As we go into more and more of the examination things, we go to the 50-yard dash. Ooh. So we see Izuku going against Tenya Ito, with Tenya Ito saying, this isn't fair. I have a running quirk. This should be against the rules. Lee says this is no problem. As when Tenya Ito's about to start, Deku says, freeze. As Tenya Ito just stays still, as Deku just lightly jogs to the finish line, with Bakugo and the class laughing. 5 minutes later, after Deku is done giving off his stretching and laughing and Bakugo's laughing, he then says, okay, unfreeze, as Tenya Ito blasts off, says, hi, this is not fair, this should be against the rules, as he looks to Aizawa, who just shrugs his shoulder and says, it doesn't really matter to me, so I guess I'll let it slide, with Bakugo saying, ha ha, wow, your face is priceless. When you were standing still, all your mouth was just dropped, and you had this and then you just had this sad face on. Man, and your chopping hand was up too. As the whole class just started laughing, with Tenya Ito starting to get madder and madder at the two. We then see Eraser saying, well, that's the end of the test. I guess let's check your scores. As he presses a button and comes a big holographic screen. Well, as you can see, Izuku Midoriya got first, followed by Katsuki Bakugo, then Momo Yaoyorozu, and then Shoto Todoroki. And then Kirishima, I forgot his last name, I'm sorry. With Mineta saying, wow, all these guys are really strong. And that Momo girl's a real babe. Huh, Kaminari? With Kaminari and Mineta just having a semi-massive nosebleed. With Aizawa saying, well, you know what time it is. If you see your name on the bottom 10, there's some serious work to do. But at least you bottom 9 didn't get expelled like the last person is. What you mean? Says Mineta, since he is bottom because pretty much his quirk really couldn't help him with anything. Except for the side-to-side dodges. Lunges, I mean. I don't want to go. I made a friend just like me. With Kirishima saying, I'll miss you, bro. As he cries, one animates here as he slowly hits the ground and evaporates. With Aizawa saying, well, that's what you get. I don't even know why you were placed in UA. Well, at least in 1A. Maybe if you were in 1B, that would have been better for you. Well, I guess that's what we could do. I don't feel in a complete mood to expel anyone. Maybe just expel you from my class. As he then says, well, I'll go easy on you. You will be moved to 1B. As Mineta just cries happily knowing that at least he won't be fully kicked out of the school. But he'll miss his friends in 1A. Especially all the hot babes, says Mineta. As he turns around and goes back to the classroom and get his stuff, as well as his transfer note that Aizawa pinned to his chest. As we see Izuku and Deku just walking away. We then see some students saying, hey, where are you two going? The day hasn't ended yet. Well, that's too bad, huh? Well, see you tomorrow, as he says. As then he say, hey, where are you guys going? You're not allowed to do this. As they look at Aizawa, Aizawa says, we really don't care. All we just be doing is sitting in the class for the rest of the hour. So they might as well go. I wish I could do the same thing, but unfortunately I'm the teacher. I could really use a nap right now, as Aizawa says, hopping it in his sleeping bag. As the student is saying, hey, just because it's an hour early, shouldn't be doing this, says Tenya Ida. Oh, here we go again, says Bakugo. Well, bye. As Tenya Ida saying, hold on, you should be listening to when other students are talking to you. Where are you going? Bakugo saying, man, you're really entitled, aren't you? But like I said, we're going where we're going. As Bakugo and Deku rush off to their location, we flash to the next day. Bakugo and Deku get to the UA school 30 minutes early when they enter the class. Eraser hears them and gets up and saying, I'm not sleeping on the job again all night. With Deku and Bakugo looking into each other, then looking at Aizawa and saying, what do you mean all might? I didn't know you got down like that, Sensei, says Bakugo. With Arista saying, no, that's not what I mean. With Bakugo and Deku looking at each other saying, okay. With Arista saying, by the way, I've been wanting to teach you to order something if you guys are interested. Whoa, we don't roll down like that, says Bakugo. With Arista saying, I meant in hand-to-hand combat. With them looking at each other and then looking back at Eraser and nodding. We skip to when more students come in and saying, hi, where did you guys go after the practice yesterday? With Deku and Bakugo looking at each other and then looking at them, then continue talking, completely acting like they didn't exist and never started talking to them in the first place. They say, wow, you're kind of rude. We then skip to All Might busting through the wall and entering the class saying, I'm coming, with Bakugo whispered to Deku, like he did with Eraser. With Deku and Bakugo laughing, with All Might saying, coming like a hero. With him landing in front of the class, with some students saying, why are they laughing in sentences? And others saying, they're pretty strong, but really weird. With others saying, oh, it's All Might. With All Might saying, today we're going to be doing a training exercise. With Uraraka saying, will anyone be expelled if they get last? With All Might saying, no, why? With Uraraka saying, because Aizawa-sensei expelled someone the last time we had a test. With All Might looking at Eraser, and Aizawa just shrugging his shoulders in response to All Might looking at him. With All Might saying, well, that's unfortunate, but no one will be expelled, with the class cheering. I saying, we will begin training when all of us arrive to ground Gamma. Well, let's go, plus Ultra! As we then flash to them when they arrive at ground Gamma. Again, thank you all for liking the series so far. Thank you for just coming with me on the ride on when I'm starting the series. Thank you all for the likes and the comments. But hope you guys enjoy Saruto's part. Oh yeah, make sure you guys sub to him. He makes really cool what-ifs as well. And he's a dear friend. So yeah, thank you again, Saruto, for agreeing to be on the channel. But hope you guys enjoy. Peace.
Alright, so before I even start, I do want to give my thanks to Xero for letting me do this what-if with him. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Now let's get right into it. Alright, everybody, so let me explain this to you. First things first, in this exam, it will be a hero team and a villain team. The goal of the hero team is to stop the villain team, as their goal is to make sure that their bomb explodes and destroys the whole building. The heroes want to prevent that, and the villains, you want to make sure that the heroes don't get to you. So you can use your quirks, so that is allowed, and you may fight back. Let's see who can do the best as heroes. Now, I will be choosing who will be on each other's team. Let's start off with the villains. Alright, I see we didn't draw one name. Alright, Bakugo Katsuki, you will be on the villain squad. Now I'll choose one for the hero. And the hero will be Izuku, aka Deku. Alright, and next you have okay, this is for the villain, Uchako Uraraka. Alright, and for the hero, Momo. Alright, yeah, Momo's a good, I guess, candidate. After that, basically Deku and Bakugo, both of their teams will kind of separate. And after that, All Might will say, alright, the villain team goes in first to set everything up. You guys have 5 minutes to do it, so you might want to hurry up. From here, they would nod their heads as Bakugo would grab Uraraka, and the two of them would get going. Now, from here, Deku would just look at Momo, as Momo would say, alright, so do you have a game plan? As after that, Deku would just think in his head, what do I say? I can't really say much to her. As after that, he would just pull out a basically little pad that he had in his back. He would then write down what he had to say, and this was, just create things if you see I'm in a bad situation. After that, Momo would say, that's it? As after that, Deku said, yes. After that, she would say, alright. From here, the two of them would just wait, as All Might would say, alright, the 5 minutes is up. Hero, you may go in now. After that, Deku and Momo would both go in, as once they enter, Deku would just kind of just look around, trying to take in his, his surroundings, trying to make sure that there's no sneak attacks, any gadgets that could hurt him, just kind of being smart. Now, from here, he would look at Momo as he would basically direct her to follow him. As from here, the two of them would just keep running up steps. After that, we go up to Bakugo and Uraraka. So, what do you want to do, Bakugo? Huh. You see, this should be kinda easy. Well, at least for you. You should be able to be Momo, since you do have your little floating quirk, whatever. All you have to do is make the bomb go in the air. She can't see it, and while she's trying to look for it, sneak attack her. Me and Deku will have our own separate fight. Now, we go to Deku as he was running up the stairs. Bakugo, as this is what he's thinking in his head. Bakugo, you've always been ahead of me. I always looked up to you. But now, I will show you who's the stronger one between us. Even though we aren't connected by blood, you will always be my brother. So it's time to see who's the strongest, brother. From here, we go to Bakugo and his inner thoughts. Deku, ever since we were little and you got your quirk, I honestly thought that, well, you'll surpass me. And you ended up doing that. But then we started training together, working together, and eventually we became brothers. which is why I'll have to show you who's the strongest brother, which is me. Now, from here you see Bakugo leave the room as Deku said, I want you to do me a favor. Create a pole. No, actually, a hammer will be good. Create a big one too. And just make it go up and destroy the upper floors. I want to do something. After that, she said, okay. As after that, she will create it. As Deku will kind of look away since, you know, when she does this, you know, her thingies start hanging out and stuff. So, yeah. Now, from here, she would go on to destroy the walls above. As soon as she did, you would see Deku as he would then jump up. Deku had some good leg game, but it was only enough to go up to the next floor. Momo, trying to basically seeing what he's trying to do, will create a trampoline. As after that, Deku would land back down as he would then try to get his best jump as he did. As when he jumped up, he would see Bakugo as Bakugo would jump towards him and explode him, sending him flying back down. From here, Deku would be hit with kind of damage, but he would land back on the trampoline, going right back up as he would then grab Bakugo by his wrist as he would then say, blast away. From here, Bakugo would get sent flying. As after that, Deku would land on the same staircase. He would then look down at Momo as Momo basically got the hint like, yo, I'll have to hurry up there. From here, Deku would rush over to Bakugo, but as soon as he did, Bakugo would send another blast at Deku, as Deku would have to jump up to try to avoid it. But as he was trying to look around and see what he could do next, Bakugo would appear in front of him, as he would then punch Deku in the stomach, sending Deku flying through the little hole. After that, Deku would fall right on the trampoline, but as he was coming back up, Bakugo would be there again, as he would then say, double explosion! As he would then send Deku down using these double explosions. This would send Deku right through the trampoline and through another staircase. And as soon as they were about to hit the ground, Deku would mutter some words. Become my shield. From here, Bakugo's body would move without even him controlling it, as he would hold Deku and become his shield, meaning that as soon as they would take the fall, Bakugo would take the fall for him. From here, Deku would get back up as Bakugo had no control of his body, but he would then gain it again. But as soon as he did, Deku would be right there as he kicked Bakugo. But Bakugo wasn't going to have this. He would use his hands to basically bring himself back up as he would kick Deku in the face, sending Deku's head to be hit against the door. From here, he was about to go hit Deku again until Deku would say, get away! As he would then start spitting out lots of blood. From here, this would send Bakugo flying back just a little bit. As when Bakugo got back up, he would notice that Deku was bleeding out a lot. Dang it, it seems like he's overdoing it. We have to stop this fight. But as he was about to stop, his eyes would widen as he would see Deku's eyes. Deku's eyes were full of pride as he didn't want to lose. He saw that Deku wanted to continue on, as Deku would pull out his medicine and take it. From here, he would look at Bakugo as Bakugo would just smirk as he would charge at Deku. You ready? As after that, Deku would just look at him as he would run towards Bakugo. As after that, Deku would jump over Bakugo, and after that, he would land on the ground. From here, Bakugo would blast at him again, and as soon as he did, Deku would think, alright, I can do it now. His torso is wide open. As from here, Deku will have one of his palms out, similar to how the Hyuga clan fights. As he would then have another of his hands back, kind of in a fist. From here, he would touch Bakugo in his chest, but kind of more like a strike, palm strike. As from here, he would punch Bakugo in his face, as he would then kick Bakugo in his ribs. This would send Bakugo not flying, but I guess you could say on the ground to an extent. As from here, Deku said, alright, this should give me some time to kind of make a plan. As he would then run up, Bakugo would get back up, trying to follow Deku. Deku would go into a room as Bakugo would be looking, as he said, come out of here, Deku! As from here, we would see as Deku would come out. Levitate. From here, you would see as Bakugo's body would start to levitate up, as he said, what is going on here? As from here, he would see Deku appear as Deku would jump up as he would then kick Bakugo right in his stomach. Bakugo would land on the floor as he would spit out a tiny bits of spit, not blood, just spit. Now, once he did that, you would see as Deku's body was starting to get weaker and weaker. I have to watch out. I know what I'll have to do. I'll have to. I'll have to sync my attacks with Bakugo and pray that Momo can do it. Now, he will look at Bakugo as Bakugo and him would kind of just look at each other as Deku would then run away. Get back here, Deku! As he would start to chase Deku all the way up to the floor that, well, has the gigantic hole. Now, once they got there, Deku will be kind of more towards the window as Bakugo will be more towards the stairs. This seems like this will be your last time, Deku. So let's give it our all. As you would see Bakugo charging up his strongest attack, as Deku would say, yeah, you're right. As from here, Bakugo would charge right at Deku. As Deku would then grab Bakugo by his collar, the two of them would fly out of the window. And as they were going down, Deku would say, now, get away. No, blast away. As the loudest he could, which would make his attack even more stronger since this is what Deku wanted a lot. As from here, you would see both of them get sent flying since Bakugo would grab Deku so hard to where he couldn't even kind of leave. Like he was literally attached to him like they were glued together as they were both hit the ground painfully. Now, the two of them would be trying to get up as they both would. As they would both run at each other trying to punch each other, Bakugo would fall on the ground. As you would then hear, Hero Team wins! As Deku would look up. We did it? As you would look up as Momo would say, we did it, Deku! As Deku would smile as he would then fall over. As that was a fight between brothers. Now, from here you would see all the other things go on as we now skip all the way to the end of the exam, or I guess you'd say lesson. Alright, you guys did perfectly well. Alright, so does anybody know what Deku or the hero team did along with the villain team on the first round? We're going to go by every team and see if you guys can notice the mistake that each of you has made. From here, Momo would speak up. Maybe it's because me and Deku didn't have much teamwork. Actually, you're wrong, ma'am. The teamwork between you two are actually excellent for two people that barely knows each other. The problem was that those two got, well, I should say, carried away. Meaning that they could have hurt a civilian in their fight. So that's the only thing you two need to work on, is to how to control yourselves a little better when you get hyped up. But you two quirks are very strong. And based off who I heard you'll be training with, you'll have it done very soon. From here, Deku and Bakugo would both smile, but you couldn't really see Deku since, you know, his mouth is basically covered up. As from here, I'll be lending it back over to Xero. I want to thank you guys for having me on his channel, and peace out.
Thanks again for Saruto for being so willing to join this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. But yeah, after further ado, like, comment, it's Xero, and I'm out.